Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our daily press review on the CAM1 radio. We kickstart this session today with the Guardian Post, which is out and talks about armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions, respectively. And headline saying Amber Madness reaches incurable level. The recent decision by the so-called Anglophone freedom fighters turned oppressors that all taxis plying the streets of Bamenda must be painted in the blue and white colors of a separatist flag further emboldens the widely held opinion that the self-styled liberators don't care about the well-being of Anglophones whose interests they claim to be fighting for. You can read this story today on page 3 of the Guardian Post. Meantime, a police boss lays foundation stone of a new production center in Yaoundé. On page 4, you can read this story today. As Martin Bagangele, who is the police boss and in charge of national security, laid down the foundation stone of the new production center in the fabrication of ID cards in Yaoundé. At Women, Peace and the Security Fair in Yaoundé, Minister hails reach out Cameroon's peace building mediation efforts. Minister Abena Ondua visiting stands in company of Reach Out Cameroon's Executive Director Esther Omam. This story could be read today on the page 4 of the Guardian Post. Fedi Press drills newspaper publishers to maximize opportunities in digital media. You can read this story today on page 9 of the Guardian Post. Bonjour le Cameroon is out today and focuses on the return of former Prime Minister Philemon Yang in Yaoundé after his triumphant victory as the 79th elected President of United Nations General Assembly. The paper also highlights the adoption of a new law in the making geared towards restricting the illegal exploitation of wood in Cameroon. You can read this story today on pages 7 and 8 of the paper. Liberation Plus headlines with a scandal at the Port Authority in Kribi, whereby nepotism is at the center of recruitment procedures in Kribi. Page 3 is the paper. On the paper, you can read that story today on page 3 of that particular paper. Nouvelle Expression talks about a case which has been pending in one of the French courts since 2020. The case in question concerns the Port Authority in Douala against Bolloré Company. According to Nouvelle Expression, the verdict of the case was made public yesterday. Plus, the paper also reminds Cameroonians that if President Paul Biya runs for presidency in 2025 and wins again, he will be turning 99 years old after his 7 years mandate in 2032. You can read that story today on the page 3 of Nouvelle Expression. Capital Info is also out today and talks about the new production center in the fabrication of national identity cards, which is yet to be constructed, as the general delegate in charge of national security, Martin Bagangele, proceeded yesterday in Yaoundé with the laying down of the foundation stone. The same exercise will also be conducted in the littoral and the north regions, respectively, in the days ahead. Le Messager says the extension project of the seaport in Douala is of capital importance. The project seems to be almost impossible due to financial and logistic hurdles. You can read that story today on page 3 of Messager. Le Messager, to be more precise. Afrique Performance talks about the meeting between the president of GCAM, Telestin Tawamba, and the Minister of Finance, Louis Paul Motaze, a meeting which was aimed in cementing some financial modalities in the private sector. Sansu Hebdo is also out today and says Defense Minister Joseph Beti Assomo has congratulated Colonel Jackson Kamgang, who has executed several military projects over the years, including the construction of a new military school in its acronym EMIA in Yaoundé. It should be noted that the school is still under construction, but the minister is already satisfied with the colonel's progress. Le Drapeau is also out today and says that the Cameroon government is on a quest seeking to amass over 186 billion francs CFA in the fight against malaria between 2024 to 2028. Lococorico paper is also out today and talks about the fruitful partnership between CAM1 and CAMTEL, which is the Cameroon Telecommunications organization. Both state organizations signed conventions which will help reduce costs and also ease operations on the field. CAM1 engineers install pipes on the ground to give people access to pipe-borne water, while CAMTEL engineers to give the population good telecommunication and connection services. This partnership between both organizations is geared towards mutual respect so that each company's property shouldn't be tampered with by the other. The signatory exercise was being conducted by both the Director Generals of the state corporations, Mr. Blaise Musa for CAM1 and Madam Judith Ya Sunday Achidi for CAMTEL. You can read these stories today on page 7. Le Quotidien talks about the International Day of the African Child, the commemoration of this particular program, which was presided by the Minister of Social Affairs in Yaoundé, Pauline Irene Ngene, who promises education for all children. Cameroon Tribune focuses on the Delegate General in charge of national security, Martin Bagangele, and his quest towards revamping the national identity card sector. It is said that identity cards could be fabricated and given to the beneficiary in just 48 hours. That is what Cameroon Tribune has in store for us today. Informa things out today and says, in his quest for seeking partnerships with European universities, Armand-Claude Abanda was received by some executives of UNESCO in Paris. The list is also out today and says the president of FECAFOOT, Samuel Eto'o Fils, may be in trouble with the American and the Switzerland secret services due to accusations of alleged corruption and match fixing. Le Point says the constant hike in price of flight tickets with popular French airline company Air France has been denounced by many, plus the quality of their services are also declining on a daily, a phenomenon which has prompted the Minister of Transport, Galebi Behe, to address the situation. L'Économie Quotidien is also out today and applauds the performance of the Bedeyak company, which was able to make over 3.8 billion francs CFA in 2023. Plus, the World Bank has granted 30 billion francs CFA to finance the Babaju-Bamenda stretch of road, which cuts across the west region to the northwest region. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we end this edition today of the press review on the CAM1 radio. The frequency, of course, is 99.5. I wish you well, and we thank you for your keen attention. Please see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place on this particular